For joining us on the program Beyond 100 Days. We are talking about the police invitation extended to President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero. And joining us for more on the discussion is a senior advocate of Nigeria and former Attorney General of Kwara State, Salman Jawondo. Good to have you join us on the program. Before you came on, I was speaking with the Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress about this development. And he mentioned that they received the news of Mr. Ajaero's invitation with root shock, and that they expected that the police would have, concluded investigations before he was invited. And I'm wondering if there is any reason to doubt that the police actually knows what they're doing in this case. Mr.
Well,
Jawondo.
I think, thank you for having me. I also read about the invitation extended to the NLC president by the police with respect to some offenses or crimes under the law. And I think given the police powers under the Police Act and the Constitution, the invitation is not out of place. The police has that power to invite anybody in respect of any matter being investigated by the police. And from the context of the letter and the fact that the allegations stated there in the crimes being investigated are serious crimes, which ordinarily the police are entitled to arrest a suspect or a defender. Now, having not arrested or made an attempt to arrest him by extending an invitation, I think the police is civil enough. However, given the time frame between the time the letter was delivered to him and the time was to appear, I think it was too short a period. So I think that's the only area where I think is asking for extension is justified. But the police has that power to invite anybody.
All right.
And it is not part of their responsibility to inform anybody, any other person other than the person affected before they can extend such a invitation. So the argument of the labor union that they were surprised, they didn't know, they could not have known until and unless the invitation extended to him. So the fact that the man is the president of the Labour Congress in Nigeria, the union and whatever position, agree his position is strategic as far as the leadership of trade union is concerned in Nigeria. But that is not an amenity for him that he cannot be invited. It is after the invitation, and you see the police from their comment, they said the level of evidence they have gathered in respect of the individual being wanted as an international terrorist will marvel or surprise anybody. So that means the police have done some level of investigation which connect or means that the attention of Mr. Ajaero is required. It could be to clarify certain things. He has not been accused of having committed any of these alleged offenses. He's invited to explain certain things. So I think the invitation is in order and in compliance with the law, except that the time frame given does not give him enough time to prepare.
What should have been an ideal... Yeah, Mr. Jawondo, what should have been an ideal time frame for the invitation?
And I think in the circumstance, given the fact of his special position as the leader of the trade union in the country, I think 3-4 days will have been an ideal period, so that he will be able to consult his lawyer and then prepare whatever he wants to prepare. More especially that the details of the allegations are not stated in the letter.
All right then. Now, one of the requests that his solicitors are making are actually, they're citing Section 36 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and are requesting details of the alleged crimes, that he's been accused of having committed. So what's your take?
Well, you see, I think when he gets to the police, they will have to give him the details. But for now, it's just an invitation. In fact, the invitation could be for him to even to clarify issues, not that he's accused of the offense. So it depends on the level of his involvement, whether it could even be to be a witness. So it is when he gets to the police that the police will now tell him this. It is not expected that the police will state that in the letter. What is expected is what the police have done, stating that this is the offenses they are investigating and they need his attention. I think for now, under Section 36, it is at the level of interrogation that he will now be confronted with the details of the allegations or crimes involved. That is, if he's now being invited not only to clear some gray areas, but as a suspect, then the police will now tell him details.
Requested an extension of more than a week. He's requesting to appear on Wednesday 29th, which is 8 days, or thereabout following the invitation. How do you advise the police to respond to that?
Well, I think, like I said, given a special position, there's nothing wrong if the police oblige him or favor him with the day he has requested for. Although the police still has that power not to agree with him, they can reduce the number of days he requested for. But since the police have done extensive investigation in the respect of the matter, the time given will not change anything. Particularly, they already have their facts and documents, so it cannot change anything. So I think there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, if the police oblige him with the number of days asked for. But if they do not oblige him and give him another day that is shorter than what he has requested for, the police will still be active within the laws.
All right. And then earlier today, we saw members of the union gather in solidarity with Joe Ajaero. Do you see that in any way influencing or interfering with this case?
Well, it's not unexpected of labor unions. They are always on their looter, but that will not change anything. The fact, I even heard that they had an emergency meeting and said if the man is detained, is arrested, they should shut down the country. That should not be the approach. Because that their approach is preemptive of the fact that the man has something to hide. That is the implication. That is the pointer that perhaps they knew already that the man has something to hide. If he does not have anything to hide and doesn't have, it's not connected with any of these crimes, there is no basis for being preemptive. The demonstration, the solidarity, for me, are preemptive, and they will not change anything. Nobody is above the law of the land.
And do you have any reasons to doubt the intentions or motives of the police in this case?
For now, I don't have any reasons. I don't have any reason. You will remember that terrorism, subversion, treasonable felonies are becoming more of recurrent in this country nowadays. So the police and all security agencies need to tighten up the situation, the security environment, so that, and they said prevention is better than cure. So it is better the police are alert to their responsibilities. So for me, I do not see the matter beyond what is in the public domain now. Mere invitation to a citizen of the country to assist the police in investigation of serious crimes. That is the way I see it for now.
All right. And just before we go, what would you say to, lawyers involved in this case? Because over time we've heard about lawyers themselves bringing up, requesting extensions, which sometimes have a way of slowing down the progress of the proceedings in the law court. What would be your charge at this time to ensure speedy dispensation of, this matter?
You see, I won't know the facts at the disposal of the lawyers that is asking for a text. That's Femi Falana SN. I will not know the fact at his disposal, and I will not know the reasons why they are asking for a week. But the fact remains that he is entitled to ask for extension if the date fixed is not convenient. So whether that 1 week will slow down the pace of investigation or not, it depends on what is available with the police. But I think 1 week will not change anything.
Senior Advocate of Nigeria and former Attorney General, Kwara State, Salman Jawondo, thank you so much for talking to us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that's our program today. We thank you for being a part of it. Watch a repeat broadcast at midnight and at 6 a.m. I am Abosedi Adene Adoremi. Bye for now.